How's it going, everybody? If you are running a business here in Michigan and looking for affordable general liability insurance, you are definitely not alone, and this video is for you. With insurance premiums going up across the board, many business owners are looking for ways to try to lower their costs while still having reliable coverage. So in this video, I'm going to go over what general liability insurance covers, what impacts the cost, and then how to find the best value without leaving yourself exposed. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Brian. I'm an independent insurance agent based here in the state of Michigan, Metro Detroit specifically, and I work with businesses on their commercial insurance programs, as well as helping families and individuals with their personal insurance, their home, their auto insurance as well. My goal with this channel is to pass on a little bit of educational information to you so that you can make more informed decisions around your insurance, and then overall help answer any questions that you might have. So let's get into it. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. And if you find this video helpful, useful, anything like that, please feel free to like, share, pass along with anyone else as well. So general liability insurance protects your business in a few key areas. One is going to be through bodily injury coverage. So if somebody is injured on your property or by your operations, and then the same goes for property damage if you accidentally damage somebody else's or a third party's property. And then another part of the policy will provide coverage for lawsuits, events that come from things like advertising injury or reputational harm. And then a very important part of a general liability insurance policy, especially for people like contractors, those in construction, manufacturing, and anyone selling physical products, is going to be the products and completed operations liability coverage. This does typically come standard in a regular general liability policy, but depending on your business's operations or maybe the products you sell or manufacture, this part of the policy could be excluded. So it is very important to make sure it's there or you have a separate policy for it. It's also important to note that general liability as a whole is a very important policy to have in place, because oftentimes it is required anytime you have a commercial lease for a building, or just any general contracts that you might have in place with any clients, business partners, vendors, anyone like that. Almost every time they are going to require that you carry some form of general liability insurance. Now, how exactly is the cost for this policy determined? The two biggest factors are going to be, one, the type of business that you run. Every insurance company will have a specific class code that then has a rate associated with it, and your business's operations will determine what class code is being used. And then higher risk operations like construction, manufacturing companies will typically pay more than those in lower risk industries, such as with maybe a retail store, clothing store, nail salon, something like that. And then the multiplier for that rate that is associated with your business's class code is typically going to be one of two things. Either it's going to be your sales or revenue, or if you're in construction, contracting, it will typically be your payroll. Sometimes there are other factors as well, such as if you are a landlord or maybe a warehousing operation. It could be based on things like the square footage and area of the property and the type of tenants you have. And now there are a few different ways that you could go about finding affordable general liability coverage here in Michigan. One could be to just search online and go through a direct online insurance company carrier that might represent a few different companies. Maybe somebody like Next Insurance, Hiscox, or Byberg. And these can be fine options for smaller businesses and provide that instant coverage that you do need. But if you do decide to work with maybe an independent agent, there are a lot of great regional and national carrier options that may have industry-specific solutions and products that could really benefit your business and be very cost-effective as well. And with a standard regional or national insurance carrier, a lot of times they're going to have great claim service, good customer support, and at the same time be, again, pretty cost-effective as well. And working with an online insurance company might seem like an easier option in the short term, but when you work with a local independent agent, they can help make sure that you actually do have the right coverage in place and with a good solid company. And when you go the online route, you are essentially acting as your own agent. So if something's wrong with your coverage, maybe you select the wrong class code, there's certain exclusions that you might not be aware of, all of that liability for that mistake will fall back on you. So working with an agent can help make sure that you are getting the right coverage for your exposures, while at the same time most likely being the same price or even maybe a little bit less than you might get through one of those online companies. And something else that I commonly mention to people is that the cheapest policy is not always necessarily the best policy. Some lower cost general liability policies do sometimes exclude coverage for things like your subcontractors that you might use, or maybe the products and completed operations coverage is excluded, or there just might be some basic exclusions for work that you might do on a regular basis, such as exclusions around residential work when that's all that you do. So it is very important to make sure that you do work with somebody who understands both your business and your operations and the insurance marketplace here in Michigan to make sure that you are actually getting the right coverage in place for your business and at the same time in a cost-effective way. So thank you for watching, and if you are looking for help with your general liability insurance, whether you're just getting a first policy in place or looking to review your coverage as a whole, maybe your entire commercial insurance program, I would love the opportunity to work with you and see if our team can help. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and they should all be in the description below. Please feel free to text, call, email, fill out a contact form, whatever is easiest. And if you have any other questions about insurance, please feel free to reach out directly or leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer those as well. So thank you again.